Good morning and welcome to the morning break. I'm Rob Patz. Still not sold on any of these music choices. Coming up though at our 1 year anniversary, which is next month, we'll debut the new music that I picked. But we're kind of going through these cycles. We picked about 40 different songs to try out. This is definitely not it. No, not it. Good show today. Going to be excited. And you know, it's going to be a good show when I have a co-host. Those are always good. We're going to get rid of that music. I'm done with that. That's how fast I'm done with that music. By the way, welcome to the show, Vivian Cummins. She's back with us as my co-host today. Vivian, a couple things. First, how's the coffee going? I know you bought some 7 weeks. What do you think of it?
I love it. I got my cup this morning. I purchased the Hope blend because we all need a little hope in our life. And it is like a medium roast. And I love it. I love it. My husband wants to try the darker roast because he likes the darker coffee. So we're going to get that next time. But loving my coffee.
Get the espresso. That's my
Woo.
The espresso coffee is amazing. You can make it just like regular coffee. It tastes incredible. If you have one of those fancy machines, which I don't have, because it looks like a lot more work than I'm used to. I like to grind my own coffee, but I don't want to sit and spend 20 minutes and have a degree from NASA to be able to understand how to make my coffee. I have a friend. He's been on the show. HG, if you're watching, he imported a coffee maker from Turkey. It looks like, and I hate to say this, and if we offend some people from certain parts of the country, so be it. It looks like a still. And I'm like, what is this? He goes, oh, it makes great coffee. I'm like, I don't need to have a science degree to make my coffee. So that's it. But hey, the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee, that's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10. Vivian and I love their coffee, and you will love it too. We love their mission. We love everything about what 7 Weeks Coffee is doing. They're a great sponsor here on the Morning Break and along our whole network. By the way, thank you so much for watching. Whether you're watching live on the app or across my social media, I appreciate you. Thanks for making the Morning Break a part of your schedule. And Vivian, today, by the way, is a very important day for those of us who love hot dogs. Today is National Hot Dog Day. It is super important to so many people. You're a wiener either way. And so here's my question. First and foremost, what do you put on your hot dog?
Okay. So here's my disclaimer. Okay. I'm not a big hot dog eater. Okay. I'll eat me a good corn dog, but hot dogs, not so much. But if I had to choose between mustard and ketchup, I would say mustard with relish. It has to have something else on it. How about you?
Okay. So for me, I love a little mayonnaise. I put mayonnaise on the bun and put the hot dog in, ketchup and mustard. And if I'm really feeling sassy, some green olives. I chop up some green olives, put the green olives on top. That is my decision. The other thing that today is, you know, that there's a day that was made just for me. Today is also this day. It should be my name. It's National Be a Dork Day. And I was like, I'm pumped. This is my day. I'm like totally excited about that. It's incredible. I'm pumped about that. And so yes, that's that. Those are the 2 days. National Hot Dog Day. I will probably celebrate. See, unlike Vivian in her highfalutin ways, I love me a good hot dog. She's from Oklahoma. Here's the thing. She's from Oklahoma and she doesn't like hot dogs. What's
Okay. Can I tell you why?
No.
Let me tell you why.
No.
No?
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Because my mom used to boil them. Okay. And I think that, see, look at your face. That's nasty. Okay.
It is nasty.
So I grew up with boiled hot dogs, and that's why I don't like them.
That's a scarring part of life. I'm amazed you're as normal as you are.
I know.
The other thing, hey, and I don't know if we talked about this last time, but do you like freeze-dried snacks?
I do.
See,
I love all snacks, but freeze-dried, yes.
I'm old, and I can tell that I'm old since I really didn't know this whole freeze dried snack trend and tell the great folks who are one of our sponsors, my-snackies.com. Donnie Young and the great team there at my-snackies, they do freeze dried snacks. They do freeze dried Snickers. I have not had one of those. I've had some of their stuff. I can see the appeal. I'm not a huge snack person. I honestly, I'd rather have another piece of pizza than a snack. Or I'd rather have my wife, on the other hand, is like literally, we just got back from Puerto Rico. She took like she had dum dums, she had sweet tarts, she had all kinds of stuff packed in her bag. So she's a legit like, and she loves red vines, which they're okay. But all that kind of stuff. So, but listen, if you are planning and you know that 70% of you this summer are planning a road trip vacation, remember, order your snacks from my-snackies.com. They're a great company and they do fantastic work in their community in Kansas. So check out my-snackies.com. When Vivi and I return, we have a special guest. We're going to do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And there's some special sales that they have going on the website, and you can't get those. I can't talk about them. It's like secrets. So you have to go check it out there. Hey, Vivian, another, I've one more thing that I want to get in before we get to our guest, and that is plug your website so people can find you.
Oh, thank you. My website is viviancummins.com. Got my books out there, got some devotionals, got all kinds of fun freebies for everybody. So come visit me.
Okay, introduce our guest because I'm excited about this.
Yeah. So our guest is Arlene Pellicane, and she is an author, a speaker. She's been featured on the 700 Club, Fox News. I mean, she's been everywhere. She's got a new book coming out. One of the things we're going to talk about today is one of her current books, and it is titled Making Marriage Easier. And I love talking about marriage, and I think it's such an important topic. So Arlene, thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Morning Break.
It's so much fun to be with you and Rob. Thanks so much for having me, Vivian.
Yes. Okay. I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about this book. And so, first of all, let me just say, I think Rob is the one of us that has been married the least amount of years. So listen up, Rob. She's got
No, we
wisdom.
can test this out. It doesn't matter whether you are a newlywed or maybe you've been married 50 years and you're listening. Hopefully you will get something today that'll make you think, wow, I really love my spouse and I actually really like them. So the book is called Making Marriage Easier: How to Love and Like Your Spouse for Life. Because what we find is that the commitment is there, right? That you say, okay, I'm going to be with my spouse. I make this commitment, this vow before God. We are going to be together till death do us part. And you love your spouse. But on a day-to-day basis, you get under each other's skin. You see each other the most. You can get annoyed with one another. The things you thought were so cute when you were dating are now like killing you now that you're married. And so what are things that you can do to make it easier? So my husband, James, and I have been married for 27 years. And we were just thinking through, we're not superheroes. We're not, we're normal, ordinary people. And when we look back at our marriage, we say, wow, this has been fun. It's been largely, has it been difficult sometimes? Sure. But mostly speaking, it's been great. So we're trying to think of what, like reverse engineer that, what made it great. And we've put that in the book, Making Marriage Easier.
I love that. I have read this book. I've read it a couple of times actually. It's really great. Got a lot of great nuggets. One of the things that you talk about, there's 4 key marriage decisions that make marriage easier. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes, and notice their decisions. They're not
Yeah.
feelings. They're not circumstantial. They're not like, "Hey, everything was going great and we were doing well." So 4 decisions. So the first decision is play by the rules. Every marriage has rules, and realize that the constraints of a marriage, they're for freedom. That once you realize this is how you play this game, you can just keep playing for life. And in the same way, if you were playing soccer and the goal kept moving, or the teams, like different members went on different teams, like it'd be very confusing. Like you need rules to thrive. So this idea is, what does the Bible say? Follow God's rules first of all, above all else. And then you're going to have family rules that it might be that we speak well of each other in public. We don't, demean each other in public, whatever it is. And you play by those rules. So that's decision number 1. Decision 2 is to give thanks every day. You were super grateful the day you got married. So keep keep being in your marriage from that place of gratitude. I'm sure Rob can feel that because he's like, "Hey, I finally found this wonderful woman." So stay in that place of gratitude. Decision number 3 is to serve your spouse. And this is not about being a doormat and losing yourself and, "Oh, I've lost my identity because my spouse has taken over." No, this is about the attitude that just is like, "How can I help you in your life? How can I help you today? How can I make your life better?" Because that's what we want. And when you serve, then you have endless opportunities. When you expect service, you're just waiting like, "What are you going to do for me today?" Then you get endless disappointment. So you get to choose that. And then the last decision number 4, is to take fun seriously. That, hey, marriage, like getting married, courting, dating, all of that was super fun. You weren't like, "Yeah, this person's kind of okay, so I guess maybe I'll ask him out." No, you were like having so much fun. So that's not just reserved for vacation or for when there's more money. You need to have constant fun together, asking yourself the question, "Hey, when was the last time we had fun?" And if it really takes you a very long time to answer that question, then it's time to watch a funny video together, have a funny date night, like pull a prank on your spouse, like do something to bring back the fun.
See, because we do that. My wife and I, we have fun just going to the grocery store.
See? Yeah.
And of course, like you said, we're the newest of married couples.
Yeah.
We'll celebrate 5 years coming up in about a month. But I think for us, the big advantage was we were more mature
Yeah.
when we got married. And so we have, if you watch the open of the show, that is kind of, people go, "Is that your personality or is that put on for No, this is really me. This is
Right.
my wife deals with this like 24/7. And so but I think that's the biggest key. What you just said is one of the things I think is so important is you gotta have fun together.
Yeah.
If you're not having fun, it, life will push you down the way it is. You gotta have that one person that you can kind of be your sounding board for fun.
Yeah. And just like you're saying, you're I think 5 years in, and so the advice to you shouldn't be, "Oh, well, that's because you guys are newly married, that's why you're having fun." That is terrible advice. The advice to you is, "Okay, like, how can we keep this going? You found those rhythms of fun. Now make sure at 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, not that the grocery store will be a thrill every time you go to it, but that you have this anchoring memory of this should be fun." And there's going to come a time in the future where, you guys are in the aisle together, and you start laughing about something, and, it's 20 years from now and you're like, "Hey, my goodness, it's still fun." So
Yeah.
this is what we need to be thinking. How do we keep making this fun and finding new ways to have fun together?
Mhm. In the subtitle of your book, it says how to like your
Right.
spouse, like and love your spouse. And I think that's really important because I think a lot of times people they're in love with their spouse, they love them, but they don't like everything about them. And my husband and I were best friends. We've been BFFs since high school, and that's so important for us because I like him. I genuinely like him. I like his company, and I enjoy spending time with him. So I think that that's really important. Marry your best friend. That's my advice.
You know what? And all of us married, when we married this person, right? We were like, wow, I really like this person. Because there's no way you would marry them if you didn't really like them. So none of us married Hitler's distant cousin. We all married someone we chose, and we do like them. But what ends up happening we're very different, right? Spouses are usually very different. I'm a rules keeper. My husband is a free spirit. I'm more planned. He's more spontaneous. I'm a little more introverted. He's a little more extroverted. Like, there are all these differences. He's very outdoorsy and really good at sports. And I'm like, was the last girl picked in every PE sport in high school, So you're different. And what ends up happening, then those differences rub against each other. And you find that, like, well, I don't like you very much because you're challenging me in a way that I am not naturally bent. And to realize, okay, one thing that's really helped me when I'm in that mode of like, I don't like you very much, is I think to myself, well, he's probably thinking about her. Well, I don't like her very much either. Like, why does she not know how to ride a bicycle? Things like that. So just kind of when you get in that mode of like, well, I don't like you very much. And always we are the hero and our spouse is the villain, right? Just turn that around and say, you know what? From their eyes, they're probably thinking, wow, she is really annoying, or he is really something else. And that mindset shift really does help.
See, I look at it this way. My wife and I are very much different. I'm very much outgoing. She's very quiet. She's very analytical. I'm not.
Yes.
I do not like spreadsheets. My wife loves spreadsheets. She probably dreams about them at times.
That's hilarious.
But what I look at it too is that God kind of put us together, because there are parts of my life that were a train wreck even at my age until I met my wife. And that kind of changed it. I think you almost have to look at the perspective of God brought this person because you have weaknesses. That was the hardest thing for me. I'm an only child, so I grew up
Me too.
being, I was awesome. My parents told me I was awesome from day one. And then I realized I had weaknesses, and then having a great spouse who, kind of fills in those places of weakness, which for me are a lot. So I think that's a piece that you could take and give to people, is say, hey, listen, they may do stuff you don't do, but they compliment you in ways that you may not at first look at.
Yeah. I love that. All of us have it.
Yeah. And I think too, Arlene, a lot of times we enter marriage and we have unrealistic expectations placed on our spouse. So you talk a lot about that in your book. I'd love to hear your thoughts about those expectations that we put on each other in marriage.
Yes. This is a huge thing, because many times we're disappointed and we don't even realize why. It's like our spouse maybe didn't even do anything wrong, but we're so disappointed. Why? It's because I was expecting this and I got something different. So if we are thinking, oh, if you're listening and you're single and you're hoping someday, I hope to get married, and good for you that you've hung in with us this long to find out, like, how can I make this better if I do get married? So you think, oh, when I get married, everything's going to be okay. And then, but the discontentment you feel now is the same discontentment you'll just feel it as a married person. And then you're married and you think, well, if we get this house, or if we have children, or if my children are successful, or if we have a great retirement package. And then you realize, wait a minute, all these things, this is not what brings contentment. That contentment is the Apostle Paul, whether I am abounding, whether I am abased, whether I have plenty, whether I have little, I have learned the secret of contentment. And then you yourself with the Lord, you figure that piece out of, Lord, I rest in you. I'm whole in you. And then you come into marriage, and now you're two hopefully whole people, by God's grace, that can then not be looking for fulfillment in each other, because we're flawed people that are going to make mistakes. And then I think being able to express things. So instead of bottling it up, right? Thinking like, well, you didn't even, whatever it is, for my husband, he's an acts of service person. So he likes, when I do things, and I'm a words person. So I'm waiting to hear, oh, honey, thanks so much for doing the dishes. And he's thinking, why do I need to thank her for doing the dishes? I just spent 3 hours cutting the palm trees and she didn't even notice because I'm not like an acts of service person. So here you come into with these expectations. So the more you can more easily verbalize, like for me, just to say, hey, if you could say thank you, like verbally to me, that would like mean a lot. And then not freak out about it if he does it. And then for me to realize, oh my goodness, he's not saying anything because he just spent 3 hours doing something that you didn't even recognize. So you're learning, how can you talk about your expectations and how can you learn to meet each other where they are in a better way. And The 5 Love Languages by my dear friend, Dr. Gary Chapman, that's a great book to look at if you've never heard of that.
I love that.
Which would be like one person on the planet, because most of you have heard about the 5 love languages.
I love it. I love it. I know you have other books out. Would you like to kind of share with us some of the other things that you've got going on, some of the other books that you have out?
Yeah, so we've been talking about making marriage easier. I just referred to Dr. Gary Chapman. We've written 3 books together about technology and the family and how to keep that tech, be really intentional about it, realizing now more than ever we get it. This is not a neutral device for children. This is something that will steal their time, their attention, their drive, everything if we let it go just unwatched. So Screen Kids is the book I would recommend for you with myself and Dr. Gary Chapman, so that you can understand what are the relational skills that my child is really going to need, and how do we limit technology so they can have those skills. And then I have a new book coming out in the fall that I'm super excited about. So check back, late September, The Great Tech Reset, Reclaiming Real Life for Christian Families. So we kind of had a feeling maybe years ago, like our gut told us, hey, this whole thing about kids like staring at tablets is probably not a great idea, right? So you got to have this gut feeling. And obviously now all the research is showing it. So now that we know that it is predictably harmful, what are we going to do about it? So whether you have littles, you have grandkids, you have teenagers, and that's what the Great Tech Reset will help us with.
Wow, I think I need to read all of those books because Rob and I were just having a conversation the other day about social media and being on our phones and all of that. So timely messages.
Yeah. And that's for our marriages, just to realize if you were out on a date, Rob and his wife are out on a date, there's not going to be a third person there, another guy there, another girl there. We'd be like, who is this person at dinner? But we will have our phones out and we will pick up our phones and we will interact with our phones. And it's so widespread that we don't even feel like we're being rude. So to understand, wait a minute, how is this thing impacting the most important relationship in my life?
Oh, I love that. And see, my wife and I noticed that we were on a ministry trip, and we were in Cincinnati, and we were eating dinner, and we were sitting together, and we looked across at a couple that were sitting across from each other. They both picked up their phone, and they sat and didn't talk to each other. My wife looks at me and goes, I would hate for that to be us. Now, we are on our phones a lot, but one time we turn our phones upside down, because I'm like one of these people, I don't want to miss anything. So like if my phone goes off, I'm like, and so I turn it upside down when we're having dinner, especially out or something like that. I turn my phone upside down so I can't see it, because I'm nosy. I'm like, okay.
Right. What's that about? Yes.
So I think those are great things that you have. I love the screen time thing. I think we are in a time and a really almost an epidemic type situation where kids are their time is being stolen.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be, and you can address this, maybe some guardrails put on how much time kids spend on their devices.
Yeah.
What would you suggest?
Oh my goodness. How long is this show? But I will give it to you in a nutshell. So I live in San Diego with my husband and 3 kids. We saw, 15 years ago, this does not look right. Let's do this differently. So we were the totally weird people who we love technology. So we're not anti-tech. So my kids as teenagers were 3D printing Nerf guns and editing podcasts and doing art. So we're not like these people that are like, oh my word, technology is awful. But we realized that having it in your pocket, access all the time. It's like if you carried around a huge bag of M&Ms with you all day long and just told your kids, please eat 10. Like, it is impossible. So the access to it, social media, video games, YouTube shorts, you get it. All those things that rewire the brain. That's what we were like, that is addictive content. We don't want you to have that. So it was a very simple trifecta of no video games, no social media, no smartphones, all the way through high school. And the book, The Great Tech Reset, will help you. Again, we're in San Diego, public school, so we're not these strange people that just live cloistered. And it really worked. And my kids, I have a college graduate now, a college age student, a high school senior, who have real relationships. They have skills. They can read the Bible. They have attention span. They have rich relationships, tons of hobbies, but they don't have a phone. But you know what? The rest of their life, they will have that. And so we wanted to give them that. So my suggestion is to delay the personal device as long as possible. You will never find anyone who says, oh my word, I wish I introduced Call of Duty earlier to my son, because that would have been so great. Or I wish my girl would have been on Snapchat, 2 years earlier, because that would have been so good for her development and her morality. Nobody's going to say this. Every single parent, and interview them, please. If you don't believe me, every single parent's going to say, wow, I wish I would have held off on this. So you can pre-decide, hey, and I think as time goes on, you will not be the only one like we were in our school. There will be others. There will be others, because people will see this is not great. So delay the devices, because it's a lie to think I can just do this in moderation. That same idea of I cannot carry around a big giant size bag of M&Ms and put it on my waist and just have a 10 a day. It's a lie. There's no godliness that will keep me, on that straight and narrow. It's the environment. And we as parents, as grandparents, can really take charge of our home environment. And again, like we talked about earlier, you have to make your home fun. And then you replace that with other things. So then they realize, oh, I'd much rather be skateboarding than like sitting on my phone watching other people skateboard. So once kids get that, they embrace it for themselves.
And thanks to you, I am now going to, as soon as the show is over, go get some M&Ms, because those are my favorite.
I know.
They're just in the other room. I will stick my hand in the big Costco sized M&Ms and come out. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But hey, give everybody the websites.
Yeah. So my name, arlenepellicane.com, arlenepellicane.com. And I have a Happy Home podcast.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I did not know that part. Thank you so much for being with us today. I appreciate it.
It's been lots of fun. Thank you.
Well, we are to the end. It went by way fast. You
fast.
did a great job again today.
Well, thanks.
I had so much fun. You bring on guests that talk about food, which is always good for me. I love that. And so we appreciate it. Vivian's with us. She'll be back again. In fact, I think he plans to have her on regularly by shooting guests to her that I think make her interested. And we appreciate you, Vivian. Thanks for being with us on today's show. And hey, guys, it is crazy to think we have spent time together again. Where is it gone? Time goes by way too fast. Appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're watching on the app or on my social media. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your break's over. Get back to work.